Okay, hello everyone. John Donnelly is my name from Your Holistic Academy, and I'm very delighted. A very special guest with me today is Michelle Jewsbury. How are you doing today, Michelle?
Hey, John, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing amazing, amazing. I'm going to just, guys, I'm going to just introduce you to Michelle a little bit. Michelle is an absolutely very powerful, powerful story to tell. She is, oh my God, she's a coach, she's an author, she's a speaker, she's an actress, she's working lots of humanitarian work in Guatemala, in Sierra Leone, in oh my God, where else? India. She has she is on a mission. Michelle is on a mission, and your acting work, Michelle, was around a program called "But I Love Him," and you're an author of the book called "But I Love Him." Yeah.
Yeah, so I wrote and performed a 65-minute play called But I Love Him. We'll get into that later. And then my book is But I Love Him as well, yes.
Yeah. So you have a very powerful story to tell, Michelle, and it's all based on your own personal experience.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that, or where do you want to start?
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. Hi, everybody on Facebook land. I hope you are all doing great. If you're on John's, you're probably in Ireland, and I think it's in the evening time. If you're listening from the Los Angeles area where I live, then it's morning. It's about 10 a.m. right now. So I'm so happy that Zoom us to connect and collaborate on different time zones, different continents. It's pretty awesome. So I'm really happy about being here, really happy about sharing my story, and happy bringing some of these programs to Ireland. So let me kind of start with who I am and why I do what I do. Is that okay, John?
Absolutely. Yes, go for it, Michelle.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I grew up in a little town called Sandpoint, Idaho. I grew up to two awesome parents. My mom and my dad were the light and shining of my life. They are no longer today, but I know that they are looking down from heaven and saying, "Go, girl, go." Mom was always a rock star and my biggest cheerleader, so I miss them very much. But growing up, my daddy was in the military and around a lot. And when I was about 16 years old, I was living in North Idaho. And I decided that I wanted a real job because at 16, that's when people get real jobs. And my mom was a server and a manager in a restaurant. And I said, "Hey, Mom, will you?" She said, "Sure." So I spent over 15 years in the restaurant industry. I loved interacting with people. I got to sit down and where everybody was from and what drove everybody. But I knew I wanted something more. And I know out there on Facebook land, a lot of you more. And that something more for me was to move to Hollywood, California and be a movie star. So that's what I did. I packed up my bags and I drove my happy little butt from North Idaho all the way to Hollywood, California, where I currently reside. And I came here to pursue this extraordinarily difficult career of acting. And it was awesome. You know, I thought that I was on my way to stardom. I was starring in independent plays and films, doing commercials. If you know Papa Murphy's at all, I did a Papa Murphy's commercial. It was a lot of fun. And then I ended up meeting somebody, this blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy who swept me off my feet. And I was head over heels in love. And things were going well, and he was courting me, sending me gifts and flowers, me to ball games and restaurants and concerts. And about 4 months into that relationship, my head went through the wall. I didn't understand that that was the beginning stages of a domestic violence. I never grew up with abuse in the house. I never saw my dad or my mom yell or hit one another. So this was new to me. And I ended up staying user for 4 years. Now there's reasons why victims stay in abusive relationships. Most of the reasons is because of the apology stage and the cycle of domestic violence. And that was the reason I stayed for so long as well, but we can get into that later. When I finally escaped 4 years later, I sat down in front of my computer, very similar to what we're doing now at home, and using Zoom and talking to different continents and different people. But I sat down and I just began to document what happened. And in that documentation, it first came out in a play format, especially with my theater background. So in 2016, I wrote and performed a 65-minute solo play about my experience in domestic violence called But Him. I had endured emotional manipulation, financial abuse, physical violence, and sexual abuse. And I portrayed all of that in my play. After I had completed play, people started coming up to me and telling me their stories of domestic violence, telling me what they had endured and thanking me for speaking up. And again, I knew I wanted to do something more in my life. And then I decided in 2017 to found a nonprofit organization called Unsilenced Voices. We're currently operating in Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Rwanda, Africa. We are expanding to the United States and hopefully Ireland soon as well, hoping for depending on COVID and COVID restrictions. Able to help thousands of women and children and educate women and men all around the world. Very, very excited about the growth of Unsilenced Voices, the team that's behind us that is pushing along. I can't do this alone. We have a team. We've got a great board, an active board, and things are changing, and we're creating a movement. And this is a mission. This is a lifelong mission. And then after creating the nonprofit organization, I then began speaking all around the world. I know March 2020, I actually got stuck in London and Egypt speaking at the Women's Economic Forum when the world was shutting down. So that was pretty crazy, but I made it home. And then 2020, I was on over 100 different virtual summits and podcasts. And now I'm back out on the road speaking live at events in the United States, where I'm traveling 2 to 3 times a month right now to different locations around the US. And I also coach and mentor people to help you overcome extreme challenges. So I run a coaching and a speaking business. So I'm CEO of the nonprofit organization. So very busy, things are going really well, but it's not about me, it's about helping you at home and about helping all the who need a little bit of assistance, okay? Because we all need a little bit of assistance every now and then.
Wow, Michelle, that's incredible. It's so powerful. And you're such a busy lady, but you obviously, as you say, you've got a team. You can't do this alone. And how did you find that team, or did they find you, or how did that happen?
God, I mean, any other way. I'm a spiritual woman. I believe that I'm called, that I'm being led. And a lot of the people who I now interact with, who I work with, I've just met through association, through introductions, like meeting you, John, right? Through different introductions. And our board, 2 of our board members, actual former clients of mine who are survivors themselves of domestic violence or extreme difficulties. And then we've got an ex-NFL player as a board member, and Rodney Allgood, who's an international speaker, activist. So very excited about the people who we work with. And then, of course, we can't do this without the managers and the collaboration of other NGOs and nonprofits in different countries. So it's great. Yeah, it's all awesome.
Brilliant, Michelle. And if I was to ask people to connect with you, who would be the person that would, do you want to expand your team, or bring the team to new places, or are you looking to expand the team, or what are you looking for?
We definitely need to expand, right? So in every country we work in, we work with people and entrepreneurs and in that specific country. So whether it's another NGO, a government official, a citizen of the country who wants to make a difference, we make sure that we work with them. So we don't necessarily bring Western United States values over. We just bring the education, the mentorship, the guidance, structure as to how to teach and train about domestic and sexual abuse, human trafficking, and providing resources. So the case management, the knowledge, the traditional therapeutic. There are many things that are needed after a survivor escapes a domestic violence relationship, or after a survivor of rape or incest. And in order to really heal, you have to feel through some of that, but you need people around you to do through that. So that's what we want to do. That's how we want to impact. So we are definitely looking for more people to help. We need collaborators, other countries all around the world. And we definitely need financial contribution, because we can't do anything without funds. You can find more information unsilencedvoices.org. Again, unsilencedvoices.org.
Yeah, and Michelle, I'll put all the your details into the chat in the comments after this. But so you want to come to Ireland, Michelle, and obviously we want to be one of those collaborators. I know that we're building a beautiful community here as well around holistic health and wellness. But I want to introduce you to people in Ireland who would love to be collaborators with you. So the programs you establish, then that's a permanent sort of permanent programs that live on after you.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it's just teaching and training. So change without awareness. If people don't know what they're doing is wrong, or if the victims themselves don't understand that they can escape and that there's another way, then then the cycle will perpetuate. So it's all about teaching and training how to end the cycle of abuse and how to live a peaceful with one another. No matter your race, your age, your socioeconomic background, your religion, it doesn't matter. We can live in harmony with one another, and we don't have to have violence. There are other ways to solve problems without yelling, using horrible language, beating, hitting, sexual misconduct. So it's just teaching people that there are other ways. Coming to Ireland, I'm very excited, John. You are already introducing us to a lot of different people. I know Jackie is somebody that we've recently spoke with and already making moves in Ireland. And it's all about making a movement and a statement and changing the way we think about domestic violence, sexual abuse, and human trafficking.
Yeah, brilliant, Michelle. I love it. And I love these collaborative efforts, because we are all connected, and it's about, as you said, it's about education and about finding that other path where we can all basically live a better quality of life, and education is at the core of that. Yeah, and it's not just the education that you get when you go to school; it's the education you get when you leave school.
Yeah, very, very true. A lot of what we learn in school we don't use, but it's life experience. So what happens outside of school, after school, it is all about your life experience.
Yeah. So the dream of being a movie star, Michelle, I mean, you're a movie star in a different way now. You're playing a starring role in a global project of transformation. Yeah.
John, that's awesome you said that. So ask me, what about your acting career? And I said, I was being led in a different way, but the skills I was able to use and learn while I was going through acting classes and being on set, I now can translate those on the stage as a speaker, as CEO of a nonprofit organization, starting movement, being a co-creator and collaborator with other people. So yeah, I'm an actor in a different way. I'm going to tell a quick story, if that's okay. When I was younger, I used to do a multi-level marketing company called Amway. I don't know if you've heard of Amway or not. Yeah, okay. So I remember going to big functions and meetings where there's thousands of people in the audience. And I mean, this was years and years ago. And I remember sitting on the base of the stage and not looking up at the speakers, but looking at the audience, and just knowing that I wanted to be on that stage, knowing that my voice mattered, because everybody's voice matters. And it's interesting how life has unfolded, and how now I am speaking to thousands of people on different platforms around the world. But I remember I used to write on my bathroom mirror with red lipstick, "Go Diamond," because that was the level that I wanted to achieve. And I'm not diamond in Amway, but I'm diamond in a different level. And it's very interesting when you follow the path that you're being led down, what impact that could make for not only yourself, but the people around you and the people you can help. So yeah, so acting, if a door opens, I'm gonna say yes to it, because I love being on the stage. I love acting. I love being in front of the camera, but actress in a different way now, you know, a real world way.
Yeah, that's incredible, Michelle. And it's that I should say, that calling or that vision, or what it's that the voice that's saying, this is the perfect role for me. This is exactly what I'm here to do. And it's just an incredible mission you're on, and it's so empowering, and you're going to touch the lives of so many millions of people around the world. What country, Michelle, if I was to ask you, what country has had the most impact on you in your journey so far?
Probably India and Egypt. I have to change the cultural dynamic in the Middle East and Indian culture about how women are treated, how children are treated and mistreated. When I had experienced some pretty interesting situations regarding violence against women, the plain disregard of women as being human beings, as being equal to men. And it has had a lasting impression on me. And when I was in Egypt back in March of 2020, I witnessed a lot of that same mistreatment to a lot of women. I know it doesn't happen to everybody, but when I travel, I look for things like that. And countries have greatly impacted me, because I want to change and give hope to a lot of those women who feel like they're hopeless, especially in the Middle East. I know in the Middle East, they are still under a man's rule, a man's thumb. I know that a lot of women can't even travel without a male chaperone. I know that if women end up losing their husbands and their husband's family doesn't take them in, then they're chastised, put on the streets. A lot of women become beggars and unfortunately get sexually. It's time to change, right? It's time to change that dynamic. And I think it's so important. In order to do that, we have to work together. A lot of people don't understand that women make up 51% of the population on this planet. So women need to collaborate with one another, and we need men on the team. I mean, some of this happens I know in the United States, 1 in 11 men, if not more than that, domestic violence. So it's all about coming together and treating each other as we want to be treated. It says that right in the Bible. No matter which scripture you choose, which religion you are, if you're atheist or not, it's about how we come together and treat one another and love our neighbors as ourselves.
Yeah, I love that message, Michelle. And you've definitely found a collaborator here in Ireland. And I've got so many connections for you. Just reminding me of my great friend in India, Lubna, who is on a mission as well for girl power empowerment. And I want to connect you with Lubna as well. And so many connections that I want to connect you with, Michelle. So I'm delighted that we're going to be collaborating together. And I'm so looking forward to you coming to Ireland, because it's just such a powerful mission you're on. And I absolutely love what you're doing. And when I met you first, I guess I realized that I had met a very powerful voice, and I wanted to see how I could work with you. So I'm delighted, Michelle, absolutely delighted to meet you and to have this conversation today. So we're gonna close it off. Any closing comments for the audience, Michelle?
Yeah, thank you so much, John. I look forward to in person as well, and coming to Ireland, expanding upon our visions and missions, and co-creating, collaborating together. You guys at home, I want to leave you with two messages. One is, if you are going through any type of violence, if you are a survivor of any type of abuse, it was never your fault, and it's not your fault. So I want you to understand that it's not your fault, and that there are people out there that can help you. And on a positive note, one of my favorite movies is Finding Nemo. And Dory used to sing, "Just keep swimming, just keep swimming." So that's what I want to leave you with today. Just keep swimming. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Your voice matters, and you make a difference. Thank you, John.
That's brilliant, Michelle. And just stay on the line. I'm just going to finish the recording here. Thank you so much, Michelle. Take care.